So Kanye is more right-brained, which is characterized by imagination, intuition, rhythm, holistic thinking, arts. And you can see that in his music. And I think Drake is more left-brained. And that's characterized by linear thinking, mathematics, facts, and logic. And you can see that in his music. No, he's not innovating the way Kanye is innovating, but he doesn't need to because the formula works. Now, I want to talk a little bit about his beef with Kanye. You know, there's a lot in the album. He had a few lines where he was taking jabs at Kanye. I thought they were very interesting. And I thought it was pretty ironic because, especially that first song on the album, Champagne Poetry, that song was a Kanye West ripoff. Like that song is so old school Kanye. It's not old school's Kanye in terms of the rapping, but specifically just the producing, like the production. That is so old school Kanye, or a song that Kanye would have produced for Jay-Z back in the day. So we can see that he's heavily influenced by Kanye. It's still present in his music till today. So it's quite interesting to see what's happening here. But before we get into that, please like, follow, subscribe, all of the above. It really pushes this video out to more people and encourages me to make more videos. This video is brought to you by Brand Video Pros Members Lab, an online course that teaches brands and influencers how to scale their influence and sales. My name is Kenim. Let's begin. When we want to compare it to Donda, personally, I think Donda is a better album. A better sound, something that it's just poetic and beautiful. But I think Donda is very specifically I think Donda resonates a lot with people that are Christian, and that's because if you grew up in the church, or if you grew up in Christianity, praising God, through music, through the hymns, through classical music, or through Christian hymns. This album really resonates with you because a lot of the sounds, beyond him just singing about Jesus and praising Jesus in some of the songs, but even when you listen to the instrumentals, when you listen to the harmonizing and all of those things, it's really coming from Christian hymns, as well as it has some classical music like structures that have been put together. And there's so many interesting things that Kanye has done with this album. It's really a work of art. Sometimes there was one interesting, I can't remember the song, I'll find it and I'll play it, but he had all this beautiful harmony and music, and then all of a sudden it just went off. Because normally when you hear harmony and music, it would slowly fade out beautifully, but no, he just cut it. And then next song. And that's the character of his artistry. That's the difference of that's just showing that he's such an innovator. He's such an artist. And I would say Donda is a fusion between Christian hymns, classical music, Jesus is King, his last album, and of course, my dark, twisted fantasy. And you know what? Even 808 Heartbreak, he's just put all of those sounds together and evolved into the artist that he is today. So I noticed a lot of people were saying, his production was off. It wasn't strong, this and that, or whatever. And I disagree. I think he is taking inspiration from himself. It's a very interesting thing about learning from competing against yourself. So he's taking inspiration from all his previous albums, as well as Christian music, as well as classical music, puts it all together and creates this, what I would refer to as a masterpiece. So in this competition about, Drake versus Kanye, yes, they have some personal issues, but let's look at the business. In terms of the business, in terms of the music that they're making, are they comparable? Absolutely not. As much as, yes, Kanye is a marketing genius in his own right, and he's an artist overall and a great businessman, what Drake puts on the table is different, and it's more logical. I think if you look at it this way, so Kanye is more right-brained, which is characterized by imagination, intuition, rhythm, holistic thinking, arts, and you can see that in his music. And I think Drake is more left-brained. And that's characterized by linear thinking, mathematics, facts, and logic. And you can see that in his music. No, he's not innovating the way Kanye is innovating, but he doesn't need to, because the formula works. And at the end of the day, all he has to do in like 5 years, or maybe in 2 years, is rip off a sound that Kanye has created in this album, or rip off a sound that someone else has created and brings it to his studio and shows him. And this is what he's done consistently, whether he's, taking The Weeknd's entire album and putting it as his own, or he's, taking on UK rap and putting it into his sound. He took Afro beats at one point. Whatever he wants to do. At the end of the day, it works, it sells, it clearly sells more than what Kanye has done. So look, who's better? It's your preference. I think they're both great, phenomenal artists, musicians. I think they're both fantastic. And I think Drake did a great job on this album in terms of delivering consistency and not, giving us some weird stuff that we're not expecting from him. He gave us exactly what we were waiting for. And Kanye gave us something phenomenal and innovative and different. Might not land with most people, but the 1 billion Christians in this world certainly will be moved by it. And those that are just like interested in either the spiritual aspects of it, or just even the artistry in it, or just even the harmonies in it. He did a great job. Personally, I think Kanye's album is definitely something that I'll be listening to for a longer period of time. Whereas Drake's album, besides the club bangers, like some of those songs are great for you to turn up to in the club and stuff like that. Aside from that, I don't think I'll be listening to it much. But that's my take. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. Peace.